I was just going to say about Greg Jennings. Like, we don't want to talk about Greg Jennings. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers right now. But I will say this about Greg Jennings. Over the last year and a half, Greg Jennings has walked back a lot of the things that he talked smack about Aaron Rodgers about on repeated interviews. And he's even said on interviews, when people have tried to get him on, he's even said himself, you guys just try to get me on here to talk smack about Aaron Rodgers. And he's like, and that's not what the point is. He's like, if I see something that happens, and that's the way I'm going to say it. And he also has said the main reason why he talks smack about Aaron Rodgers is because he got mad because Rodgers didn't back him up when his contract was up, and he wanted to come back and be a Packer. That's why he was mad. Rodgers didn't back him up. That's the only reason. And if that happened to any of us, some of us are a little bit better than that than me. But me, I'd whine. I'd take it personal. I'd be just like Greg Jennings. Here's a guy you went to war with. You won a Super Bowl with. You went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and you were awesome. I mean, Greg Jennings is better than Jordy Nelson.
Yep.
He was better than Jordy Nelson. He's better than Devontae Adams, too. Greg Jennings didn't drop. I don't remember Greg Jennings dropping a ball. At least not that many.
Not until his last year, but that's when that was when he was in his head, when he felt like the team wasn't going to sign him back, and he let all that get to him, and then he sat out.
Devontae had 7 drops last year.
I know Devontae.
I mean, that's crazy.
He's got drop issues at times.
Greg Jennings was faster. I think he has better hands. I think he ran just as good of routes. And to be honest, it takes Devontae a little bit longer to get open. He runs great routes, but he's got to do a couple moves to get open, where Jennings would be like, and open. But I don't want to really get into the whole Jennings thing, but it's like, even he has come out recently, and backed Rodgers and said good things about Rodgers over the last year and a half. I've seen interviews with him doing it. And that's not the point. The point that that you're getting at is that these guys like Cowherd and whatever, and Skip Bayless. Now, Skip Bayless is different. Skip Bayless is saying, what he said today was that Rodgers' play has deteriorated over the last 3-4 years. Well, he's also been injured for 2 of the last 3 years, and that a complete philosophy change last year. So yes, his numbers are going to go down and down and down when you've been injured, and then the play and your whole team changes. He went from having no running back to having like the running backs on his team for like 10 years would have like combined 5 touchdowns total. To Aaron Jones having 16 rushing touchdowns and 3 receiving touchdowns last year. All because of a change of philosophy of running the ball inside the 20-yard line, where that didn't happen with McCarthy. Whether it was McCarthy's choice or Rodgers' choice, I don't know. So you can't get on them for that crap. The Packers won more games last year than they have since 2011. So, hello, it's not that. The problem is people are I don't know what it is. I've told you this a million times. Rodgers is the smartest guy in the room, and he lets you know he's the smartest guy in the room. That's his biggest problem. And that's why people who aren't that smart, they don't want to hear it, even though he's right. So he's the most talented guy in the room and the smartest guy in the room. And instead of being like Favre, who was all, oh, shucks, and then do some crazy stuff, and everybody's like, oh, that's Favre, he's crazy. And then he does crazy stuff. But really, when you listen to, I've seen interviews with Favre. Favre actually knew what the hell was going on half the time. But when he was with his teammates, he's slapping them on the butt. He was doing pants on the ground when he was with the Vikings. Pants on the ground. Everybody got a pants on the ground. I remember that behind the scenes, Favre doing pants on the ground. Rodgers are never going to do pants on the ground.
No.
But Favre will. And that's the difference. When you go from the most likable, the guy can throw picks left and right. He can throw 6 interceptions in a playoff game and blame it on 3 receivers, and they all get canned the next week, and they don't come back the season after that. And Donald Drivers go from 5th on your depth chart to number 1 on your depth chart in 1 year because Favre decided that his interceptions were actually the wide receiver's faults. That can happen. If Rodgers looks at a guy bad because he dropped the ball, everybody's like, oh, my God, Rodgers is such a jerk to those guys. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Favre got 3 guys fired because he threw 6 picks in a playoff game. And everybody's like, oh, Favre. What? That's the thing, Jace.
I know.
Rodgers is so smart, and he lets you know he's smarter than you. And that's the problem. And that's why people don't like it. They don't want to know that. They don't want you to be the smartest guy and then tell you they're the smartest guy. They want you to be the smartest guy and then be like, hey, you're pretty smart too. But Rodgers, he don't like that. He's like, yeah, you're dumb. I'm smart. Sorry.
All right,
Hey, Corey. Corey's got to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say one thing.
I think what Ben's saying is absolutely correct. Rodgers has got to be
are so
one of.
smart.
Why do we have you on this show? You're agreeing with Ben? Okay, never mind.
He is probably one of the smartest NFL players to come out in a long time. He is a once-in-a-generation talent. He does let everybody know it, but at the same point, he expects everybody to know as much as he does. So while he's telling people that, yeah, I'm the smartest man in the room, you better know as much as I do. So when they do have those mental mistakes, he that's why he's blowing up. He expects everybody to play at the same level he can, but not everybody can, both talent-wise and IQ-wise. It's just not possible. So when you look at that, yeah, people are going to say, oh, that's a personality thing. It could be. I mean, it could be his personality to be like that, but he's just that smart and he's just that good. And he still is playing with a chip on his shoulder. He will always play with a chip on his shoulder until he at least wins a second Super Bowl, because he's been asked to do more each season with less each season. And I think it's kind of been ingrained in him that he does not know how to do less with more. He has running back talent now. I mean, Aaron Jones is a fantastic player. You know, Devontae is good, but he's expecting to do more of himself, even though he's got people that he can spread it around to on occasion. I mean, we're not talking that he's got a full boat of a receiving core and a reliable tight end at this point, but he's got a running game that can support him and take the load off his shoulders. And it's just not something he's used to. He's continually used to being, I have to be the guy. I have to make the play. I have to make that 50-yard completion on a 3rd and 3 when a little 4-yard dump off would do just fine. He's got as smart as he is, he's kind of dumb in that respect, that he's trying to make those plays. He really kind of needs to take a page out of Tom Brady and play a little dink and dunk game and take what you can get when you can get it.